All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your host, James Lantine, for another episode of Magic Talk. And you're here.
I am. Why, you worried about me from last time?
Yeah. Why weren't you here last time?
I was practicing my vanishing act.
Oh, you were sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're back in the saddle.
I am.
The gentleman that was trying to replace you, he had the beard and
Now he's not here.
no, but he had a few things going against him. One, he was much smaller than you.
Smaller. Shorter. Oh, okay.
All right. And yeah, okay. So, and you were much smaller than him. So he was much shorter than you. You were much smaller than him. And your beard is much longer than his was.
Mine is, yes.
Yeah. So it didn't work at all.
And plus, I don't do hypnotism.
That's true. So
I love Bryce. I don't like mind games.
Well, speaking of mind games, we're going to talk a little bit about something called clickbait.
Clickbait.
So yes, right after here, right after this.
Rough Edge FM, irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
The art of magic is mystery, majesty, pageantry, and craft. It's also about history, marketing, networking, and more. All of these topics and others are discussed on Magic Talk with your hosts, renowned magician James Lantine and owner of the White Rabbit Magic Shop, Joshua Lantine, now on Rough Edge FM.
Thinking about it, speaking of clickbait, there's this guy that I saw online, and he was going and trying to tell me, oh, he's going to reveal all the secrets of magic. And I mean,
yeah, that was clickbait.
I was not expecting the answer that I got. I mean, it really...
Which is what clickbait is.
Yeah, I know.
You click on expecting one thing and you get something entirely different.
I'm 30 years old. I think my generation invented that one.
Yeah, that's probably true. Anyway, doggone.
What? Did I take the wind out of your sails?
You took the thought out of my mind. So
you're speaking of clickbait, and then I was slowly interjecting the video that you put up.
Yes,
that was exactly the perfect example of said clickbait.
So here's something that's
very well placed, though, by the way.
Right. And here's something that's...
I just complimented you.
I know you did.
You know what you say after that?
What?
Thank you.
No, actually, when you compliment me, I go, what? So with... we've put out videos of doing tricks.
Yes.
And you might get...
But legitimately doing tricks.
Yeah.
Not actually going and revealing anything, but almost like you were performing it in live. In a live audience.
Yeah. And you get, you're happy if you get 40 or 50 views from your Facebook fans.
Usually. I mean, I don't have a very large audience in that regard.
So you don't even get that much.
Yeah.
And so I did a video essentially telling people that I'm going to reveal the secret of magic, which was not there. Theoretically, it was not clickbait because I did reveal the secret to magic.
Yeah, but I mean, suppose it was, you were leading people down a path that was deceptive because they were expecting something else, but you threw them a curveball.
Yes. And with that curveball, it garnished 300 views in about an hour.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which kind of goes to show you how, depending on how you do these live streams. So I know a lot of magicians who go online and they're constantly putting, content up.
Yeah.
But the reality is we want to try to get content that resembles, in the thousands. And
something meaningful that actually grabs attention, right?
Yeah, and something that's going to have value to you. And it seems that the only way you can really do that is outside of being maybe an influencer, which I can't stand the word influencer, because some of these knotheads that are out there that are so-called influencers are not somebody that I want to be influenced by.
Yeah, you don't want to necessarily look up to these people.
No. No.
Thousands of people do.
Yeah.
Oh.
But unless you're doing something like, i.e., revealing a secret,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe, and I'm not talking about your celebrities and things like that, because those people are always going to get followers and they're always going to watch their videos and all that.
Let's be honest, they're not really people.
In a sense, yeah. But us everyday normal people, we'll be lucky if we get 30 views on a video.
Yeah.
Unless we do something so utterly stupid, or we reveal something, a secret or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you want to anything thought-provoking or with some sense of intelligence,
You're very hard pressed to get
Yeah.
a really large audience that's behind that. Though, if it's thought-provoking, and goes and garnishes some level of intelligence, those level of people are usually not on social media. The
Sorry.
intelligent ones are usually they steer away from.
so
The
you're
quote-unquote
saying
poison.
we're not in the intelligent crowd?
Well, I mean, I think we're trying to. We're trying to gather all levels of audience,
Right.
which is, no, I'm not saying that everybody is stupid in our audience. I want that to be absolutely clear, everyone. I'm just saying that.
Well, no, this is
all levels.
podcasting. This is not social media.
Different.
Yeah. Okay.
It goes on social media though.
So here's something for all the magicians that are out there. If you are trying to get some sort of traction in social media, here's a little food for thought. When you put out a post on Facebook, it goes out to about 6% of your friends as kind of a test.
So the algorithm will only shoot it out that far.
Yeah. So it's not like broadcasting this out to all of your friends. It's putting it out there, and what it wants to see is what kind of interaction is this post going to create with the test pool that it put it to. And so if people don't comment, if people don't like, if people don't share, that post is going to die a short death.
Or a quick one.
A quick death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very short
Isn't short
lifespan.
and quick kind of,
No,
maybe
short
it's not.
lifespan.
Yeah, okay. It's gonna
Short
be
lifespan, quick death.
all right, thank you. Now if it garnishes some activity, then it will get distributed out to a broader audience.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really all about that interaction. So as a performer, if you are putting things out there that, whether it's a trick or something that you're trying to do to promote yourself, then it requires your friends to respond to it. So the liking and the clicking or the liking and the comments and the shares, that all has a tremendous amount of value to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when your friends post something, you should do some sort of engagement to keep that post alive for them.
If you like them, yes.
Yeah, if you like them.
That's that is again, generationally speaking. That's I think that's a MySpace. What do you call that? A MySpace habit? Because you could rank your friends in MySpace.
Oh, really?
You could actually go and say this friend is number 1, 2, 3, 4, I think up to 6. So you could really go and end some friendships on that platform, just based off of how you ranked your other friends.
And they knew how you ranked them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you could see it. You go onto your page, you could see the ranking of your friends.
Wow.
And then Facebook was evolved.
Yeah. Okay. So to help your fellow magician, when you see things come across your feed, if they're putting up an effect or if they're trying to promote something, a show or whatever the case may be, take 2 seconds to like it.
Yeah.
Just do something on it so that feed stays alive.
It helps. It makes it actually can make all the difference in the world from what you were just saying.
Right.
Because it could die very quickly if it's not engaged. Does it have like a platform or a time frame that, like, there's a rough time frame that you can kind of judge it off of?
Well, there's millions and millions of posts being done every second of the day.
Well, yeah.
And so it doesn't take long for that post to, die down the list.
Oh, so it's just as more things pile up on top of it. If it hasn't received enough interaction,
It's staying on your news feed and the few that it went to, but it's getting pushed down real quick.
okay. So,
Facebook
yeah.
doesn't want content that people aren't interested in.
Yeah.
They want people to stay on Facebook and use Facebook and browse it.
Okay, that makes more sense because it's not like that you have a time frame or anything like that. It's just it's up and then other stuff goes up on top of it and it kind of gets buried
Right.
because it's a scrolling platform and you need to scroll in order to see stuff. And
Correct.
As more things come in, your thing just kind of scrolls down to the bottom.
Yeah. And it's only to the people that have received it.
Yeah.
So
So not everyone's received it either.
no.
Though if you have that engagement, it will push it out to more of your
You're
audience.
just helping your fellow performer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just as far as your post getting more attention, it'll push it out further. Is that kind of how that works?
Right.
Okay. That makes more
He'll
sense.
keep it more on top of the feeds too.
Okay.
All right. So what is the trick we're taking a look at today?
The trick we're going to take a look at today is let me pull it up. That's conviction prediction. And
Conviction prediction.
That is from Michael Rubenstein.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember if it's Rubenstein or Rubenstein.
It's one of those.
It's one of those, yeah.
All right.
The appropriately sped, it should be Rubenstein. Now, this one,
We will take a look at that right after this.
Is it good? Should I buy it? Does it suck? Did I get ripped off? Is it more of a craft project than a magic trick? These questions and more answered now on the Magic Item of the Week here on Magic Talk.
Okay, so for those of you who are listening online through Facebook or YouTube, you can see the image on the screen. It looks like it's essentially 3 poker chips with 3 coins.
yes, it's a 3 coin prediction,
Okay.
and it's using the poker chips as your prediction. And one other thing that you get with it are these envelopes. These are what I think like number 2 coin envelopes or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if I could be seen or if you these number 2 coin envelopes, and what the coin envelopes are for your prediction. And what ends up happening is you have 4 of them that you lay out in front of these poker chips. And on the back of these poker chips, you have the other coins
Okay.
that are associated with it. And so you have your audience. They can put these poker chips wherever they want in front of them. You know, if you have 3, you can have one person take a poker chip and it goes off to the other ones. If you got one person, then they can arrange the poker chips and however they want. And then you take 4 of those envelopes, which have coins in them, and you put those envelopes in front of the poker chips, and 1 is left out. And the whole idea with the trick, you can go in and make it as long as you really want to, because you could have this whole process where you change out the envelopes as the spectators going in and making the decision, really. Or you could have the poker chips switched to whatever the heck you want. Basically, case in point, you go and you reveal that inside the envelope matches the coin that's on the back of the poker chip. And that works for all 3.
So
and then
all
the
3
one left behind is an indifferent coin. And then at the end of the whole trick, everything's examinable too.
Okay. And so basically you have the envelopes laying on the table. They take the coins, they match them up to whichever envelope they want.
Yep.
You open up the envelope, you reveal the coin, it ends up matching the the back of the chip.
Yeah, the back of the chip has a separate coin in there as well.
Okay. And so what's the quality of it?
Actually, quality is really nice. You do have to provide a set of coins inside the trick.
Now, which coins are these? Do you have to get like Chinese coins and stuff, or
No? Actually, these ones are very approachable. These ones are the Kennedys. You have to get a set
so just
of Kennedys.
$50?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kennedys specifically. Yeah, there's other sizes of coins that are $50 sizes, but this one you do need.
Kennedy silvers, or does Kennedy exist on non-silver coins?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a 50-cent piece, basically.
Okay.
You could get them at the bank. It's doesn't have to be a silver one. It's just got to be your standard Kennedy 50-cent piece.
Okay.
Kennedy's just the one with his face on it. And the big thing with it, actually, I thought the way that they were advertising it, that it was supposed to be self-working. It's not self-working. It does require some sleight of hand. It's a very approachable sleight of hand, though.
Okay.
I'll be honest. When you look at the instructions with what Rubenstein wants you to do with it, I think he grossly overcomplicates it. But it's very approachable. The sleights that you need to go and perform with it.
Okay.
Actually, very affordable too. Only $45.
So $45.
Yeah.
All right, and they can get those at White Rabbit Magic Shop.
Their favorite White Rabbit Magic Shop.
And by the way, we also have liquid available.
Yes,
I know there's
do.
a lot of stores that are selling out of that.
Yeah.
We still have some, as
Very
well.
cool. Very cool.
As well as Phantom, the stage version of Phantom. So, which
That one's going faster than liquid, though.
Is it?
Yeah,
we looked at that one.
it was actually very nice.
Cool. All right. So one of the things that we are going to be doing is I must be getting really old.
You're encroaching 60, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not that bad.
No.
It's only what, you 59 this year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
There you go.
you're almost AARP qualified.
I already am AARP.
You are
55.
55. I thought it was 65. Oh no, 65 is what, retirement age?
Yeah.
Almost there.
Not for me. But
it could be. If we work hard enough, it might be.
One of the things,
that big break.
And I don't know if this is a California thing or if it's really starting to kind of go across the states. But one of the things that happens a lot in this area, especially, is self-promotions for magic shows.
Mm.
So many people now are they're four-walling a theater and they're putting on their own production.
Mm.
You see it more and more that when people are advertising, it shows that they're promoting and selling tickets to.
Okay, so it's all through the magician.
Yeah, so it's not the corporate event where you got hired by a company or the private party or anything like that, which obviously still happens.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot more of these self-promoting kind of events where you're coordinating it, you're selling the tickets, you're putting the group together, and it seems to be much more prominent now than it was when I was growing up. Although when I was in my early 20s, I did do once a year, I did an annual show that we sold tickets to.
Now, when you were doing that, what were your options for advertising?
It was interesting because I remember I used to use a church hall, which had a stage. It was flat seating. And we would do an illusion show, which was the only real opportunity that I ever had to use my illusions, because it very rarely did somebody hire you I might do a show where I bring one illusion, but it wasn't like it was a full illusion show.
Yeah, you couldn't use your rubberneck, or you couldn't use what was that? You had
I had the cutting in six, I had the rubberneck, I had the sawing in half, I had a levitation.
You couldn't use those on a regular basis.
No, they hardly got used. So I would put on a show once a year in order to be able to do it. And they would announce it at the church that I was renting the hall from. We would try to put an ad in the paper about the show, and it was heavily word of mouth.
I
And
think the nice thing about that is that you had a church attached to it. And there's usually with a church, you have regular people coming in to go and do the church services and say, hey, look, there's a magic show.
But even there, it was really hard to get an audience.
So, I mean, it is a church, and
might sell 20 or 30 tricks.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, not in the Catholic Church.
Not in the Catholic Church?
No. I actually had an interesting conversation with a pastor the other day about that. We are doing a homeschool group, and the group is moving into a I'm going to draw a blank on the denomination, Pentecostal. So they are really strict to the Bible and really strict. And so when they heard the name House of Magic, they got very concerned. So I spent an hour trying to explain to them that this is not dark magic. This is entertainment. There's nothing real about what we do. It's just entertaining. Some people really struggle trying to understand that magic can be entertaining. And I explained to them, I said, magic is actually an official art form now with Congress. They actually made it part of the arts.
There's a congressional hearing.
Yeah.
I didn't think, was that David Copperfield?
David Copperfield did that.
Yeah.
And so, and magic it's used. I mean, we can use it for therapeutic purposes, for fine motor skills. We can use it in education. And it's not that we're teaching kids to, worship Satan or,
summon demons
or
anything. Raise the dead. Though that is a really cool magic trick. Raising the dead.
Which in there, they believed that was really, that stuff really, I mean, do you know of anywhere? Granted, okay, yeah, there are some Satanists and, there are people that believe they're witches and stuff. But that's not magic. That's witchcraft.
It's magic with a K. Actually, that's not even magic with a K. That is witchcraft.
It's witchcraft.
Which is actually, that's blasphemous on all levels. Even with the magic with a K, they don't like those people. They think it's all blasphemy. You're not supposed to do that kind of crap. And it's not even real.
Right. So it's weird sometimes how you have to sit there and justify that, that magic is entertaining.
Yeah.
But regardless, what was I talking about?
We were talking about you're talking about your promoting of magic.
Yes.
At a church.
And
then you started talking about the homeschool group that's going to be Pentecostal.
I know. That totally switched gears. Regardless, so the promoting, back then it was very tricky. And it was equally hard to get people to actually attend a live event, just like it is today.
Yeah,
we have far more means available to us to be able to promote a show,
and it's still just as hard.
Yeah. So
it's strange. I would think that you'd be able to, like Facebook and all the other social media platforms, it's like a worldwide newspaper.
Yeah.
And you'd think you'd be able to get your stuff out there easier.
Well, and again, it goes back to what I was talking about with the clicks. If people don't click on your event, it's not going to get out there. So here's
your fellow magician, everyone, please.
Here's a couple of things that I've learned, because we've promoted obviously a lot of events.
Yeah.
One, if you have kids involved in your event, you're going to get a far greater audience than if you don't have kids involved in your event.
parents. That's always the key.
Right.
Parents.
Parents, relatives, friends, they will all come out in hordes to see a kid, which is why in a lot of our shows, we bring up one of our magic students to come out and do a trick.
Not just for that. We're not.
No, it's not the only reason, but that
we're not abusing the use of the children we teach.
Okay, fair point.
We're giving them an opportunity to actually.
We are giving them an opportunity, but it does have a great amount of benefit.
It's a give and take that we share.
So a perfect example. We work with PTYA, which is Performance Theater for Young Artists. Their next upcoming show is Moana. They will get, over the course of their 4 shows, they will get 600 or 700 people that will go through that show.
Yeah.
And they'll get family members that will come, repeatedly to multiple shows because they want to see their kid. If an adult group did Moana, you'd be lucky if you got 40 people to come see one of those shows.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard press.
So sorry about that. So kids have a tremendous, I'm all choked up. Kids have a tremendous impact on getting an audience to your show. We have the benefit of teaching kids, which allows us to be able to have one of the kids come up and perform.
Yeah.
Which helps us. Sorry. Another thing that you should consider is everybody loves a feel-good show. So if you make it a benefit to a nonprofit, all you have to do is donate 10% to the nonprofit and let it benefit somebody so that when you are doing the show, you can sell it as a benefit. Which, if it becomes a benefit show, you can also go to businesses and get them to sponsor people to go to the show. So they buy the tickets for underserved or whatever kind of people to get to go to the show. So you really have to be actively engaged in creating your audience, because they are not just going to come because you ask them to. You really have to consistently push, get the information out there. Let everybody know what a great experience it's going to be. Let everybody know what they're going to miss if they don't show up. But add some of that value to it where, this is a benefit show. It's going to benefit X. Go after sponsors. Go to a business and say, listen, we're going to give Boys and Girls Club 10 tickets. Would you sponsor that? Let them buy it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that you can do to help promote.
Looking to somebody?
If you don't,
who's responding?
Mark. If you don't pick them up, don't expect them. What were we talking about on that one, Mark?
I think you're talking about promoting and getting people to come in.
Oh, meaning like if you don't go pick them up by a car and drive them in.
So you have to have your own bus is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going after.
So all this stuff with the social media and all that and telling everybody about the show, it's all null and void unless you can go to their doorstep and say, all right, we're going to the show.
So he learned that in Amway. So one of the things that I want to ask you, Mark, was Amway like a thing? Because I got into Amway when I first started out in Magic too. So is there any correlation between Amway and magicians? Are we like gullible? So
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, there is a lot of it. If you don't pick them, you really gotta go after the crowd, and you gotta, be creative in the way you're doing it. And like I said, if you are promoting a show and you have fellow magicians that see it, then like it.
It helps to really. Actually, I've noticed that too. When you like it or you go and share it, especially if you go and share it, but not only are you taking it on your side into your feed, it's pushing it out to all of your friends too.
Yeah, and so one of the
So
things
it's
that
it's
you
not
want to
just their net; it's your net as well.
right. One of the things that I would also recommend is join the groups that are in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be doing a show, in Ventura or Oxnard, join groups that are associated to those areas so that you can share your posts to those groups. And it's amazing how many people will share it, and they'll type in somebody's name and they'll say, Mary Johnson, and kind of like, hey, I think you might be interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to, with today's technology, you really don't have to spend a lot of money trying to to promote.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of free promotion out there. So
It's
Mark
just
uses
time.
that now to get people to church. So Mark, you have to pick people up and bring them to church. I think people should be like knocking the doors down to church, because we're getting close to the end of the world.
Yeah, I know. Close to the end of 2024, and it's an election year. So I mean,
Good God, with way everybody's going crazy now.
right?
I'd be at church every day.
Everyone needs some penance.
Yeah. You would think. But anyway, so take advantage of that and tell your friends to share, like, and comment on your posts so that they can get that thing out there and join those groups and get the word out to the different groups.
I just realized something.
Oh, by the way,
We talked about clickbait.
yes, but by the way,
What?
if you do a benefit show where you select a nonprofit that you donate to, which, by the way, House of Magic Foundation for the Arts is a nonprofit. But if you decide to do that, you will also have much better success at getting press releases into newspapers.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it's a benefit to the community.
And they like to go and.
So you were talking about clickbait.
Yes, you were talking about clickbait. Actually, this is another perfect example of clickbait, because we were on the topic of one thing and it turned into something else completely.
Yeah, so put on your Facebook link for your event, put some busty girl on the top of your thing and say, this is one show you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, that's actually another great way of putting it. There's I noticed my examples of clickbait, at least on my personal feeds, is always the real reason. Actually, this is one. I don't know why I keep getting this one, but the real reason why President Biden stepped down. Okay, then you click on it and it has nothing to do with
that. It's selling you some sort of trinket.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Or it's another political ad for something else. And we're like, wait, hold on. Why is the president stepping down? And like, oh, don't worry about that. We're just like,
yeah. See why Tom Cruise just got arrested.
Exactly. That one has nothing to do with why Tom Cruise got arrested. But like maybe a little bit, a fraction. Like they talk about it once and then they go on to something else completely.
Now, you would think that most people would do that and they'd click on it and they'd be like, oh, and they would move off that page and not even give them the attention. But for some reason, we're like, we're all ADHD. We're like squirrels.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we click on it and we're like, look at that.
There's some times where the clickbait does draw me in and I think, well, crap, this isn't what I was looking for. And I'm like, well, hold on.
Exactly.
But I mean, I only a couple of times. Most of the time, I'm like, well, crap. I was like 30 seconds wasted on my part, because then you have to sit through that damn commercial too before you could get to the clickbait. Oh, I hate that.
The worst things is when they give you a 30-minute video of why doctors don't want you to lose weight. This new miracle method of, or one was on eyes. Check out this one exercise that you can do with your eyes and you'll have better than 20/20 vision. And doctors don't want you to know this. And then you sit through this video and 10 minutes go by and you're like, okay, they're not going to get to the point. And then you think, well, they'll get to the point now.
Oh,
and then another 10 minutes go by and then you're like, all right, I'm sucked in. I might as well wait, and just because it's got to be coming soon. And then it never comes. And you're sitting there watching this 45-minute video and
You know what those are? Those are
Annoying.
those are timeshare sales pitches. Because at the end of those videos, have you noticed how it's like subscribe to this and you'll get all the information that you need?
Well, yeah, it's you know, register for getting these pills and they're a concentrate of the right specific formulas and vitamins and things that you need that will cause your eyesight to get better. And
It's a-
all you have to do is subscribe so you get it every single month.
It's a timeshare pitch.
Yeah.
It's exactly what that is. So another thing for everyone to think about.
Are you doing a deck of cards, by the way?
What?
Are you doing a deck of cards?
I was hoping so.
Okay. So
I was just going to say, when you're doing your magic stuff, make sure, one, you get to the point, and two, you're not having a timeshare sales pitch.
yeah.
That you know, don't upset your audience with that, because it blows my mind how stupid people are with all this crap. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
All right,
There's
good.
one thing I don't hate.
So
Can we
let's
get
do
to it?
something you love.
Okay.
Abracadabra. Hocus pocus. Presto.
No, we're not going to do that.
There is an
Let's
outbreak
do this one
among
instead.
us. It is limited to only a small portion of our population. They have a sickness. They have an addiction. They collect bicycle playing cards, which is bad for them, but great for us because we have almost 500 decks of playing cards to choose from. They'll go crazy in here. They'll spend every last penny they... This is their story. This is Playing Cards Anonymous. Here on
All right, Mark.
Magic
So
Talk.
while you're on, do me a favor. Comment on whether or not that audio feed was choppy.
Yeah, I
Because
hope
we
it
hear it as choppy, but I've been told that you hear it online okay.
Yeah.
So is it choppy or does it sound okay? All right, continue.
Okay, so the one that I brought
We
to-
are just about out of time.
Oh, well, shoot. The one that I brought to the table, which you're going to like it actually, is the Deadwood marked playing cards. This is the one that is attached to the Dead Man's Hand from goodness, sorry, that's Michael Wright. It's Matthew Wright, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. Matthew Wright. You remember those coins?
Yes.
Yeah, Matthew Wright. This is the deck of cards that's attached to it.
Okay.
Actually, this one, they are a marked deck of cards. They both come in red and blue. I'm showing the blue one right now. But it looks like an aged deck. So it looks just like this. Actually, the other side looks even better because the cards do look like they are weathered and aged. And they're a different design for each card. Each card is completely unique, too, as far as their design. The cards themselves, they're a bit stiff. They feel kind of like an expert brand playing card. You can remember how those ones feel, kind of a little blocky. But they hold up really nicely. Actually, I found that the spin, or what do you call it? The fan behind them is nice. When I go and I manipulate them or I spring them, the spring actually holds up really well. They don't clump up when I do a dribble or anything like that. They actually hold up. They fall individually really well. And I like the cards that you get with it. They actually have the aces and eights have a bullet hole in the center of them for these. And it's the true aces and eights hand from I think, what was that? Who's the gambler?
Right.
Yeah, that
Bill.
guy. Bill Hickok.
Yeah.
And then you also get two really useful gaffs. You get a double back, and you get a red-blue double back to go along with it. So the very useful gaffs to go along. The one weird thing is you get one joker, and only one joker.
That is weird.
I don't know why, but the cards themselves too are all marked inside this, which is nice.
Hidden or
Kind of. It's a plain sight, but it's masked as hidden.
okay, so it is plain sight though.
Yeah, you can. Let me see if I can. Where you can find it.
Don't need to worry about it.
Oh, there it is. You can see. You can take a look at that. It is the value plus the letter for it. It's up in the upper left hand. This one's easier to see.
I don't have my glasses.
Look at it. It's that one is the King of Hearts. This one is the Five of Diamonds. This one is the Ten of Spades.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a hidden, but it's also kind of a plain sight. So because it spells it out for you, but they kind of hide it inside the design of it all.
Yeah. All right. We got a lesson, so we got to bail.
Okay.
But thank you, Mark, for listening, and anyone else who may be out there.
Yeah. So,
and
Mark, make sure when this goes up, especially on any social media, click it around and share it so that it stays active for a little while.
There you go. All right, we will be back next week. Thank you all for listening. This is oh, I hit the mute too soon. This is Magic Talk, and remember, at White Rabbit Magic,
We believe in magic.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus, presto. Pick a card, any card. Some words are magic. They sparkle with the promise of something wonderful. But they're still just words until you add that something wonderful to the mix. And that's what you'll find at the White Rabbit Magic Shop in Santa Paula. Their inventory includes world-class tricks and illusions that are not only for sale, but that they will teach you to master. In addition, White Rabbit Magic Shop is world-renowned for its amazing collection of bicycle playing cards, with nearly 500 decks in stock. So, if you're serious about magic, then say it with us. At the White Rabbit Magic Shop, we believe in magic. The White Rabbit Magic Shop, located at 15500 Telegraph Road, Suite B15 in Santa Paula. For more information, please call 805-850-3051 or check us out online at wr-magic.com. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.